YouTube, um, YouTube, not LinkedIn yet, but Facebook also. So.
Okay.
iPod goes,
True here.
Droid goes, Mac goes, Linux goes, servos go,
This needs a little bit more weight.
Yeah,
Huh?
it rotates the bottom part of the pivot.
hydraulics
See how it's
go,
together.
Like that? Oh, I got
matrix
you. Okay.
go,
You move a little closer to
Windows
the chair.
go,
All right. There we go. How's that?
keyboards
A
go.
little bit there.
But there's one sound that no one knows. What do the bots say?
This is madness.
Technology, trends, futurism, entrepreneurship, and lots more. With your host, Steve Favis.
Hello, how you doing, everybody? This is Steve Favis, broadcasting from Sacramento, California. This is the Mr. Robots podcast, podcast about entrepreneurship, robots, AI, and a lot of other stuff. I have a special guest here today, a good friend of mine, good personal friend of mine, Navy veteran Art. Art is works in security and has lots of awesome skills. I'm going to switch over here, and we'll be able to see him on the camera right here. Hey, Art, how you doing today?
Good, Steve. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How's your day going?
It's not too bad. You know, it's almost Christmas time, so I thought I'd drop by and see how you're doing and stuff. You know, I'm really interested in the stuff that you're making. You know, when I first started seeing your designs, they were like great. It was like, oh my God, man, this is so brilliant and stuff. And you know, I started telling you a little bit about it. But the thing about it is, my brother does some of this stuff. He works with some of this stuff, and then some of the stuff I do kind of correlates with a lot of the stuff that you do. So when you were showing me your designs and stuff, it was like it all fitted right in, and I could see it, and I could almost visually see how the process was going to work. But you know, at the same time, I'm thinking, I go, man, this is a lot of work, a lot of detail that you have to put into it, and you know, just the hours and hours of you know, trial and error and stuff. It was you know, when I started looking at your blueprints and stuff like that, I was like just like blown away. You know, it's like, wow, this is really coming true. You know, you watch it on the movies and stuff, and then, you know, 10 or 15 years later, the stuff starts coming true, you know, to life. And it's just amazing, you know, how far we've progressed from, you know, everything that you've done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I saw you perusing through the patent when I first introduced it to you. I could see the light bulbs going off. I was like, wow, this guy totally gets it.
Yeah.
And it's because of your mechanical background, right? You've always you worked in the Navy. You repaired naval ships and mechanical
Right.
stuff. That's very complex, dangerous stuff to be around. So,
Yeah,
what was that like?
You know, it was interesting. You know, when I started out when I was 17, so it was right out of I actually dropped out of high school and I got my GED. You know, I used to be in a lot of
Too smart to be schooled, huh? Basically,
well, I wasn't too smart to be schooled. It was I lived in East LA, so
Okay,
I was starting
gotcha.
to get in trouble. A couple of my friends passed away.
Oh, that's too
And
bad. Yeah.
I decided, you know what, I need to get out of here, and I joined the Navy before I graduated.
Gotcha. I noticed, but you have a knack for mechanical stuff, electronics, and just a good intuition for technology. What did you do before you were in high school? Did you like hack around with remote control airplanes, or
No, you know what? I was
where did this
actually
come from anyway?
In the electronics club in high school.
Nice, that's awesome.
And then the chess, and I did tennis. I was on the varsity
Dude, you
tennis team.
never told me you played tennis,
Yeah,
dude.
no, I played tennis.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'm a good tennis player.
Yeah,
So
no, it was pretty good.
We'll have to play sometime for
I
sure.
think in my sophomore year, I was on the varsity team.
That's awesome.
So,
So
yeah,
you're a
I
good
played-
tennis player, man.
Yeah, I just haven't played in a while. You know, I started playing baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I tried football, and I was too small for football. You know, I was
I
about,
see.
you know what, 5'9", probably about 140 pounds or
That
150
was my
pounds.
weight when I was in
Yeah.
my younger day. I was about a buck 42.
So,
yeah,
I wasn't going to make it and I wasn't fast enough to run. So,
Oh, I see.
so I was on the football team, and you know, I was playing like maybe third or fourth string, and then I decided to try tennis, and I did really good at tennis.
That's awesome.
So I did that a couple years.
Did you play singles or did you play doubles?
I played both singles
Nice.
and doubles. But you know, singles is nice, but doubles is a lot funner. I think
Really, yeah.
I think I prefer the doubles. a lot more.
I like the singles. I don't like disappointing my teammate if I screw up, basically. So I like the nonstop of singles, basically. So it's a lot more work.
They're both a little bit work and stuff. It takes a lot of practice. It's a lot of the wrist movement. The angle, how you're holding how you're holding it. It's not always about power, and it's about speed and being able to go lateral, forward and back.
Technique.
Yeah, technique.
Absolutely, for sure.
And also watching the other player, and see how he responds and stuff.
Gotcha. So this mechanical background, this just had a natural knack for it, or did you grow up? What did you do when you were a kid? What kind of toys did you play? What was your interest?
It was always building models and stuff like that.
What kind of models? Like plastic models?
Yeah, airplanes,
nice.
cars.
Yeah,
and stuff like
that's
that.
the same thing that I was
playing with toy guns.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yep.
Having BB gun wars.
That's awesome.
Back in the days, we didn't have airsoft and we didn't have paintball, so we actually used BB guns, and we used to. I think most kids did, right?
Yeah.
And they went out and we played with our airsofts, not airsoft, but our crossmans.
Nice.
And, we used to have the rule: only one pump. You can't pump it up more than one, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild stuff,
So
man.
we used to go to the park, and we'd be as kids, about 10 or 15 of us, and split the teams up, and then we'd have BB gun wars. But no, it was mainly electronics. I was in the electronics club
That's awesome.
at high school.
What did you guys make in high school? What kind of projects did you guys make?
We did a lot of different little things: strobe lights, Christmas lights, those sound sensors where they could pick up and they move to the beat. And it's been such a long time, I forgot, but it was just different projects that we used to go through all the time and do.
Yeah, it's the microcontroller technologies now. I mean, just orders of magnitude of stuff. The phenomenal things you could do for off the shelf electronics, such as with an Arduino, are just it's
grandson's
insane.
doing that now.
It's insane.
He's
exactly.
My 9-year-old grandson is into coding, and he's doing using microprocessors. He's using the Pi.
Yeah.
And
how old is your grandson?
9 years old.
Oh my gosh! See, that's how crazy it's gotten.
Right,
I mean,
isn't it?
The power he leverages from these tiny microcontrollers that you get on Amazon for like $25 or $30 bucks.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the support available for the sensors, the electronics, whatever sensors are incredible, basically. So
and the thing about that Pi is it's almost like it's a computer.
It is a computer. That's right. Yeah,
it has the power of it's pretty powerful little.
It is powerful. That's right. Yeah. For the price too.
For the price, I think $25-30 bucks.
Exactly. That's right.
And you could do add-ons to it. You could do screens. You could do tons of stuff. And he's sitting there doing this, and he's making robots out of it too.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
And
Good
he's
stuff.
doing that, and I go, man, God, I was dumb at 9.
I
was
know.
chasing women. girls.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it was it's much more mature now, and the processes and support. I mean, we didn't have like Google and stuff like that.
Exactly,
we had to figure it out ourselves, basically.
So I just bought him a new laptop for Christmas. He was asking me for a laptop.
Awesome.
It was actually his birthday and Christmas. I was going to get him an Alienware.
Nice.
But man, I couldn't see myself spending $2,000
on
it. So I bought him a Dell, a little bit higher end Dell. I think around $700 or $800.
That's cool. Yeah.
For him to do some podcast also, because
that's good. To do that. That's awesome. Good for him.
To do some stuff on coding and things like that. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, game engines like Unity.
Yeah,
I am a huge advocate of that. I always say that video games are the gateway drug to technology, basically. So.
But when I was looking at your stuff, I started getting it all, especially with the hydraulics, because a lot of it is, it's thermodynamic.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
And it's hydraulics. And it's just the basic function of how everything works, with the heat, all the things that you're going to use are going to expand or contract with the temperature. And then when you're using the pressures, that's going to make it expand and contract a little bit faster. It really depends on how fast you heat or cool things down.
Absolutely.
But instead of using the normal type of hydraulics, you're using a different type, more
Exactly, that's right.
And it's more realistic to the muscles, The muscles work almost in the same way, And
yes.
when I was looking at your designs, I go, wow, that's pretty good,
Yeah, exactly. It's different from mechanical actuation and servos and stuff like that, basically. So we could get that natural human anatomy.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you felt how strong the muscle is so far. The one we have, it's pretty strong,
it's really
isn't it?
Strong. It's it's very strong.
Yeah, we're super bullish about this. We're receiving some more molding Rotocaster basically to make these molds basically pretty soon here. So we should be able to churn this torso out pretty soon. So.
Now, the other thing that I noticed also was I think we were discussing the skin, how you're going to have the skin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I was a little bit involved in that because my brother, I think he has a patent on one on some of the skin flexible material like that.
Yes, awesome.
And he's a microbiologist.
Oh, nice, awesome.
So
wow.
What he's doing is he's growing.
This is another brother, and the other brother is like a machinist or something like that, right?
He's actually he works with the DoD.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right now he works with the DoD, but Department of Defense, and he works on right now he's working with missiles and different things
Oh, nice.
like that.
Super secret stuff, huh?
Yeah, but one of the things he was working for a different company.
Yeah.
Is with the phone screens and stuff like that.
Yes,
those are silicon based.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But he was coming up with a technology where it's going to be grown by molecules.
Interesting.
So he's using algae and different things like that to conduct the electricity across the screens. And what that does is instead of being silicone based, it's silicone based is hard.
Yeah.
And it'll crack and break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But if you use the plant, it'll be flexible.
Interesting.
And so what he was doing, he was making screens where you could roll up like a newspaper.
Oh, fantastic! And these are touch sensitive. That's fantastic.
Like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely have to connect with him first for that. Does he have a patent on it, or?
I don't know if he has a patent or not.
I see.
But if you look him up, you could see his name. He has quite a few things on there.
For sure, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. So far, what we're doing is we're laying the silicon out, and we kind of have
about 3 years ago. Whenever actually it was more than 3 years ago. I guess it was about whenever Obama was the president. I forgot what year it was.
Yeah.
Everything's gone so quick. He got the Young Scientist Award.
Really?
So he went over to the White House and he got to do the handshake.
Wow, that's fantastic. Your whole family's a bunch of brainiacs, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so I was reading some of his stuff, and when you started talking about the skin and protection, that all kind of came together, and I go, man, this is a great design,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the Lego blocks are there for all this stuff basically. Yeah. So it's just a matter of assembling them in the right recipe basically.
Right. Yeah.
So everything's mature, everything's ripe and ready to go from the deep learning to the hardware basically. So.
Yeah. So the only thing was the program that you're going to use. I'm not sure what you're going to use, if it's going to be.
So the way we designed it is basically it's platform agnostic. So the philosophy behind it, which is the primary driving the patent, basically the philosophy behind it should not change from now to basically 100 years. Looks like Spidey's in the house. So hey Spidey, how you doing? The philosophy behind it should not change from here to eternity, basically, kind of like the Turing machine, basically. So it doesn't really matter what deep learning technology we use. In the long run, we're going to use our own, basically, but we're not concerned about that. At the prototyping stage, we'd use anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From any deep learning architecture. And a lot of people are concerned about the compute with something this complex. But the thing is our inputs are very minimal.
Okay.
Our inputs are very, very minimal. So to crunch this data set is not huge, basically. And obviously, there's the larger the environment these things operate in, the larger the data set we'll need for certain stuff, like such as motor skills or
and that's one of the biggest things, the motor skills. When it's
yes,
I don't know if you're going to use a gyro in there to keep it stabilized and stuff, or what you're going to use to try to.
So we in summary, basically, all these sensors are so cheap now. We have. Accelerometers, gyroscopes that are just extremely small right now. Right, yeah. Those are in critical points, basically. It's not too much data. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, if you program a little bit there, we could convert to an integer before we go into a float or something like that, just to simplify the math or whatnot. But yeah, for the most part, these gyroscopes are going to be put in key points, and we don't need to calculate the fluid dynamics or anything like that, basically. Okay. So what happens is we just calculate key points and then figure it out from there, basically, along with the human motion capture, which already eliminates a huge significant amount of data set. Instead of it having to figure out how to walk and where it should be, the human motion capture will kind of help guide it where it should be, basically. So again, that eliminates a huge amount of data set and a lot of figuring stuff out.
So what are you going to put the accelerometers? Are this going to be like on
key
the outer
points,
like on the hands?
Like key points, like elbows, knees, certain joints or whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and if you think about these joints and these pivots only need to be calculated only so much. I mean, there's not a lot of points that we need this calculation to be at. And again, we don't need to calculate fluid pressure. All that'll be for is for diagnostics, basically. So,
yeah, no, that makes sense. And then the gyroscopes, I would imagine you only need maybe 1 or 2 at the max, maybe 3. Because you always want to get in case one's a backup, and then the other 2 are for
it could be anywhere in the case. Again, these gyroscopes, these accelerometer gyroscopes are tiny now. These little things are as big as there's half the size of my pinky fingernail, basically. So
I think most processes use like 3 of them. That way you get they look at all 3 and they all determine the inputs and outputs, and they say, okay, this is your average.
Yes.
And then if 1 fails, it backs up to 2, or if 2 of them fail, it backs up to 1.
Yes,
so
absolutely,
because you don't want to rely on one piece of equipment.
That's right, absolutely.
So you always want to have at least 3, and then average them out, and then hopefully your program will be able to go in there and when one fails, if it fails, because equipment fails, right?
Yeah, absolutely, that's right.
Like
we'll assume that from the beginning.
We fail all the time, especially for the gyroscopes. And it's interesting because our gyroscopes are actually in the ear canals.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, it's really interesting too how they work and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is biological too, which is even more bizarro. So
we have 2 of them, 1 on each eardrum.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if most people figured out how those work and stuff, but it's like, man, you start reading on some of this stuff, and it's like, wow,
it's crazy how this came about, and this is all biological.
The fluid
too.
in there with the little P in there that goes back and forth, and that's what gives you the balance of where you're at and stuff.
Interesting. So, the sense of center of gravity and
center
stuff like that.
Gravity,
basically. That's awesome. Yeah. So they the ear is like the biological. How this stuff has happened is just phenomenal. I have no idea where it came about or how this is. It's amazing. Biology is pretty amazing that solve these problems.
Yeah, I usually start reading up a lot, and that's the thing is, you always want to read and stuff, especially how the muscles work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how you get rid of temperature, and how do you. One of the things I was trying to figure out is how the body controls the temperature.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Stuff.
Yeah. That's a good question. What did they say anyway?
What it is actually is just the your blood vessels. They expand and they contract.
Interesting.
Inside your skin, right? So whenever you start getting cold,
you have to pee.
They start they start contracting, right? So you don't get that temperature.
That's why you probably have to pee, because you didn't need as much fluids in your system. Probably. Yeah. That's interesting. I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
But so what happens is, like, if you're trying to cool something down, as the blood's going across your skin, it either has more blood going across your skin or less blood going across your skin. And the air temperature is what's cooling your body, or or heating it up. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. You have a little whiskey or something, and then it warms you up a little bit.
Yeah,
it gives you the illusion of warmth.
But I was just wondering how you were going to do that with your equipment, because I know you
it was a strange coincidence when I started testing the fluid. The fluid, as far as the fluid temperatures, is a strange coincidence.
Yeah.
The heat given off on these processors on not working at maximum duty or whatever, it seems to be close just by coincidence. The emission seems to be close to the human body, basically.
Yeah. So it's going to be right around 90 degrees.
For some reason, there's a sweet spot where things just seem to work and move around better at like our body temperatures for some reason. And the heat that's given off on these processors is around that same body temperature. So these machines are going to be a little bit warm.
Yeah.
And they will have problems in really, really cold areas, basically. So we'd have to compensate for that, or, by putting maybe a clothes on or some sort of insulators or something like that.
Well,
exactly. Yep.
The easy part is heating it up, because all you have to do is you can heat it up. But cooling it down, that's going to be the difficult part, because now you're going to have to use some sort of heat sink in there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, again, I think I'm using the kind of the dog model where it'll be able to blow air out basically internally,
Yeah.
And we will have some cooling on the back, basically.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to some sort of cooling.
Yes.
And of course, I think probably silver and gold's the best, but you can use aluminum. Basically to transfer your heat.
Yeah, definitely.
Your cooling stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but you start thinking about all these different ways, and I was looking at your blueprints, and I go, wow, that's okay, that's pretty cool. Now I'm trying to figure out how you're gonna do that.
I was seeing the wheels turn on your head. I was like, oh, this guy knows what's going on. It's pretty awesome. So, but I mean, the implications of this. I mean, I want these things in space. Basically, I want them to, because I don't think humans belong in space for very long times anyway. So, hear about these astronauts, they perpetually have to take motion sickness drugs and stuff like that. The amount of drugs they have to take is just ridiculous. So the motion sickness is very, very hard from what I hear about. For them
I can imagine.
I know.
Can you imagine? Especially your
ear.
Your ear doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't know where you're at.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to figure out, how that your ear works. It's because of gravity.
Yes.
And when you're up there in space, you just get that vertigo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And they're still building these things where you spin around to create that artificial gravity.
Artificial gravity, yeah.
Exactly. But that's non-existent yet. And so they're sitting there with motion sickness. And there was even a blood clot on an astronaut, super healthy astronaut. This was like 2 years ago. This is the first astronaut to get like a major blood clot. I think they had to operate. Luckily, most of them are like doctors or medical doctors for obvious reasons, basically. So luckily they were able to clear the blood clot, but he would have died otherwise if he wouldn't have gotten the surgery, basically. So it's like the space travel and being in zero gravity for humans, minus, and they also get atrophy, muscles atrophy, the bones atrophy. So it's just a very hostile, unhealthy environment for humans, basically.
No,
so
definitely. I could see that. I could imagine that. You're even being up there in space a couple days, and you get back to Earth. All of a sudden, it's like, wow! It's like getting off of a ship.
Exactly. That's right. I mean, I don't know if you tried that Gravitron fair ride where you spin around. It's like this.
No, I never tried.
Oh
that.
Yeah. You probably don't want to try it.
But when I was going through your stuff, the first thought, of course, is Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, that's what everybody's thinking.
We're gonna have to come over and take out the whole lab and take Steve out.
I know, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
You already got a target painted on you.
I know, exactly.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
The weird thing about it, though, a lot of the stuff is conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly. Yep.
Sometimes some of this conspiracy theory is actually reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Except, I think the government spins some of this stuff around, so it's like,
it's kind of like hidden in plain sight in a way, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So, one of these days, you have a dangerous job, whether you know it or not, because somebody will see your patent, your design, and you get right to the point where you're almost completed. You're only about 5% away or 2% away. And, well, we don't need this guy no more.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, I'll lock up some trade secrets forever in my brain, basically. So. Unless they could read human brain.
I would look at Tesla, and some of the stuff, people that designed a lot of the stuff that other people or other corporations didn't want getting out.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah. You heard about the original, the Nikolai Tesla, basically. Yeah. So after he passed away,
they came in and they grabbed everything. The first thing they went in is the U.S. government went into his office. And they took all his designs. They took everything.
Exactly.
And, and then you also hear about a lot of these people coming up with a lot of these designs that where it makes gas-powered vehicles a lot more efficient and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, there was somebody who had a water-powered vehicle, HHO, basically, and he died or something like that. Died
mysteriously died. Yeah, exactly. He got COVID-29.
That's right. Actually, it was earlier, so it was like COVID 2 or 3 probably. So.
Exactly.
An earlier version. Yeah. So this guy had an HHO vehicle. I forgot his name basically, but he had this working. It just poured gas or water in it. And it separated the hydrogen from the oxygen. And
because all it is electro. You're just using electric current in a couple plates.
Yeah,
and it's a good design.
And the emissions that would come out was just water, basically.
Water, because you're just separating the the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules, and then you're using it for this stuff. But
that guy disappeared, and he had a working buggy. Yep.
Anyways, when you pass away, just make sure you put everything in my name, your will and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
No, you never know. I'm serious, man.
Yeah. No. I built protections in because of this. So we've again I talked about this before. I have been a victim of economic espionage, basically. So they are perpetually trying to break in my networks, whether bots or not, basically. But like I said, unless they could read my brain, unless they could, the trade secrets will be kept very close, basically.
Well, I was telling you, that friend that I set you up with, he has another friend, and he's going to give you a little bit of insight. And you'll be able to talk with him.
Great, this is good stuff. Yeah, this is a friend that at a future interview I'll have a security expert come on here to talk about cybersecurity. All I hear about cybersecurity nowadays is there's a shortage of talent, and the talented people are very, very hard to find. Very, very important people. So we're all our networks are under attack right now, from ransomware to the economic espionage stuff.
The thing about it is everybody's kind of like in their own little world right now, and they're not really looking around. They're not focusing on the important stuff. Everybody's like, oh, I don't have enough time. Or I really don't care.
Yeah.
And, they're not, China, of course, is one of the biggest people stealing all of our secrets.
Largest economic espionage. Most of it stays
you look
sanctioned.
at their vehicles, they're Humvees.
Yeah.
They store our Humvee designs. Their
Really?
helicopters, have you?
No, the Humvee design, even the frame and all
everything.
Really?
Go look at their vehicles.
Wow.
The Humvees. Their helicopters are the ones that we using currently. They
like
have
Apaches and
not the Apaches, but the other ones. What are the
UH-60s or Blackhawks? Or
the Blackhawks.
Oh yeah,
they stole our Blackhawk designs, and if you look at their helicopters, they're identical.
Wow.
I mean, you look at them, and it's like, wow,
that's
crazy. And what did our government do? Nothing.
Wow.
No, seriously, go take a look at that.
Yeah, you know what? I'll look that up right now. I'm going to open up a browser here, and I'm going to type in, maximize this, and I'm going to go to a browser window here. Let me see if I can just rotate this display a little bit. Yeah, sure.
Bring off Eric. But look at the
Chinese
helicopter, Blackhawk
design.
Okay,
and
we're
they
gonna
stole
look
our
this up right
design
now.
That or our government gave it to them or something. I'm not sure what it was.
We got to see what's going on here. So I'm going to open up this browser window. I'll flip it over here, and let's go to what was the name? Do you know the name of the Chinese design?
No, I don't, because they come up with these names. But just do Chinese Blackhawk. That's what I would probably Google.
So China Z20 Blackhawk clone. Oh my gosh!
Look at that!
Wow!
Right?
Wow!
Is that a Blackhawk?
That is a Blackhawk.
That is a Blackhawk. They stole our design.
The Blackhawk is a phenomenal helicopter.
Yes.
They stole the best design, basically.
Look at that.
Yeah, wow. China copied Blackhawk.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, to the T.
That or we stole their design.
Yeah.
Which do you think it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now
wow,
look at the Chinese Humvee.
Oh my gosh, so it gets worse, huh?
Yeah.
Chinese Humvee. Like
Oh yeah, all that stuff. And our government's not doing anything about it. It's like, there you go.
Hold on, let me see. Let me get this over here. Let me do this chat window side here.
Dude, Chinese Humvee, Chinese military Humvee. So if you're not careful,
Humvee clone manufactured. Wow, that's incredible.
Is that crazy?
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow, that is almost exactly the same. I wonder if they're doing it because they want to copy parts.
They're doing it because you know what costs the most to manufacture
R&D,
or the R&D.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Right. So it's a proven design.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that. Right.
Dongfeng EQ 2050.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is what's going on here.
Right.
Maybe we need to have some really, really bad designs that they copy. So
the
counterintelligence designs like a.
And the worst part about it now is our government's buying stuff from China. I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
Secret Service is buying drones. They just purchased drones from China.
I heard about that.
Okay.
And I heard about that. It's really scary because unless they're using for practice targets and targeting, I don't see what other purpose why they would be.
Why would you buy a drone for the Secret Service directly from China?
Yeah.
And, because you don't know what's going to be in there, what kind of chips are going to be put in there, what kind of backdoors they're going to have in there.
Of course, definitely. Yeah. There's a huge motherboard manufacturer that was in China, and they were putting they were caught putting I think the NSA found hardware wired backdoors basically.
Exactly.
Some of the stuff. I think it was a reputable motherboard manufacturer.
I think we purchased like 5 or 6 for the Secret Service, another 20 for the FBI.
Wow.
I forgot how many for the Homeland Security, but if you look it up, you'll see. And it's not a secret. It's just some of these people don't care. I think, or they don't. They forgot what security is.
Yeah, wow. Look at this. Let's see here. Let's go to news here. Let's see.
Yeah.
U.S. set to ban American investment in some Chinese companies over surveillance, drone.
Purchase of Secret Service Chinese drones.
Chinese drone purchase.
Yep.
Stirs word. This is probably it right here. U.S. scoop buying risky Chinese drones. Wow.
Wow. Is that crazy?
You know,
the Secret Service.
There's so many American-made suppliers of drones.
Yeah.
That it's really the federal law enforcement agency purchasing surveillance drones from a Chinese company. Potential national. So the Pentagon is wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Is that crazy?
That's crazy. That's really insane.
We're treating them like they're our our buddies, our friends, like but
that's
not.
This is really scary. Actually,
it is.
So yeah,
it's very scary, especially for an agency like that. I mean, what kind of people do you have there? Are they not thinking? Are they asleep at the wheel, or what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, these stuff, especially investigations, could be very sensitive. Basically,
yeah.
I heard about the DJI stuff basically too. So DJI is a Chinese-owned company, but it's really crazy because the video uploads. I actually owned a DJI drone.
Yeah,
and the video uploads are who knows where those are stored. Are the video uploads on the cloud? Who knows where it's stored? Basically,
where's it stored? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're just gathering. There potentially could be gathering whoever has access to the servers. Yeah. Massive amounts of satellite data, video data, and stuff like that. Basically, too. So.
I mean, there's so much software out there, or there's so much stuff out there that nowadays, if somebody gives you a phone call, and they could actually upload everything from your phone.
Yes, that's called Pegasus, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, Pegasus.
I mean, it's gonna same thing with the drones. I mean, all they have to do is put a chip that nobody knows about, or Look at this little extra line here in the coding.
Yes, exactly. That's crazy. Yeah. So if you go to Pegasus Security, I think if you go on the news, they're talking about everything. Pegasus spyware.
Yep.
Yeah, so here's a bunch of people that are being found using the Pegasus software. I think this was developed by Israeli intelligence or whatever. So, it's really, really crazy. This Pegasus is an insane by just a phone call, basically.
Yeah, basically. You don't even, all you have to do is pick it up and that's it. You're done.
Yeah, that's right.
All your stuff is gone.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
But, the biggest thing is I work in security right now.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, vandalism, stuff like that. And, theft. But also looking at, see what potential targets we have.
Have there been any credible, if you're allowed to talk about it, have there been any credible threats about people or organizations?
Not where I work.
Not where you work,
Yeah, but you never know. You always have to be there, and you always have to be vigilant and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, And you are notified by everybody if there's some sort of issue.
Exactly.
That's
and
good.
Then we have procedures that we put in place.
That's good.
So, but the thing about it is that my job is that I'm constantly looking at it, and upgrading it, and see where we have deficiencies, and then how to react to them.
That's good.
Prevent them. We have a couple layers of stuff. Where you detect, you identify, and then
good. So do you want to tell where you work or
no? I'd rather not.
Okay, no problem.
I think,
no problem.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, for sure. No problem. I completely understand. So I think our viewers will too, basically.
So and that's a problem with it. It's not that it's top secret. But at the same time, I'm not allowed to discuss it. A lot of it's sensitive information.
Good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. We want to make sure you have those to yourself, basically. But there was other stuff going on with what was it? I think TikTok, which is a Chinese-owned social networking stuff. I don't know if you heard about this. Yeah. They tried stopping TikTok maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And what's happening, I guess, is there's threats on TikTok about school shootings now. So I guess you're hearing about this, and I think some sheriff's departments were responding to these threats that are happening on TikTok, whether they're artificial or they're going to help instigate something that could happen. But the scary part about this is these social networks are huge now, and there could be somebody that could potentially do something that's bad or egged on or provoked into something, basically. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing about also, some of the stuff that we do. Is that whenever we get a new member or anything like that, one of my jobs is to screen them. Talk to them, discuss with them why they want to, do the training and why they want to do different things, because we don't want to bring somebody into our organization where a little later on they're going to, do harm to somebody.
Give information that is not good. Yeah, it's in a very privileged environment, basically, and you have to be vetted properly. Correct?
You have to vet it, and then some of the other stuff that we do. whenever we're vetting somebody, is I'm looking at them and seeing, start questioning them. And I don't want to say question them. I just start asking them and little questions here and there, and to see where their mind's at, why they want to train, why they want to do this.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Why do you want to train how to shoot?
Yeah,
is it
exactly.
self-defense or is it for something else?
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that I do training with, they'll tell you, well, I want to help my community. I want to be prepared.
Yes.
And they'll speak up right away, and you'll get it right away.
That's
why
good.
they want to train.
That's good. Yeah.
I want to be there in case of an emergency. I want to help my neighbors. I want to help the law enforcement. I want to do this and that. But then every now and then you get one person and you let them talk.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I do is I let them talk.
Yeah.
And pretty soon it's like, fucking people piss me off, and sorry about the language there.
Wow.
And I'm really aggressive, but nobody fucked with me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. I've gotten in a few troubles. I had one guy that touched me, and and I ain't gonna go for that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I got your number, and let me talk to some of the people here, and I'll call you back. Scratch that guy off.
Intuition red flags are going off instantly. Yeah.
But all you have to do is just start talking with them, get a little friendly with them, and pretty soon they start talking, and you really get to know what they're like.
Yes,
Especially, I'm pretty easy to talk with, so I think you feel comfortable with me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm talking, so they start opening up, and it's like, okay, no, big check mark, scratch that number off, right?
Yeah.
And that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Is that somebody that I don't screen properly or do something.
Yes.
Is that 5 months down the road, all of a sudden it's like, bam, this guy went into a somewhere and he took out 50 people. Or something like
exactly.
That,
I think a Tesla employee recently went a little disgruntled and brought a rifle to the. Did you hear about that? It was like a few days ago. So
no, I haven't. I didn't read.
Yeah, it was a disgruntled employee. Basically, he came back. He got in an argument with somebody. Came back with a AR. Basically, and I think he shot him. I'm not sure if he killed him or not. But
you also have to keep monitoring the people that are around you. It's not only the new people, but also the people, because there's a lot of people that'll get into a depression.
Yeah.
They get they have a family member die.
Oh yeah.
Somebody goes to jail. They get going to a breakup or something. I had one Navy guy that he was going out. It was actually his wife.
Yeah.
And we were in the Navy, and he was doing great. We'd always go drinking and shooting and all that other stuff. And then we hadn't heard from him for about a week, and the next thing we find out is that his wife was going to leave him, because in the Navy you're always traveling and doing different things.
Yeah.
And his wife decided she was going to leave, and went into the bedroom, took his service pistol, and
oh, that's awful.
And you're like thinking, I go, holy fuck.
What a horrible story! This came out of nowhere. That's awful.
And it's just like one of those things, like you would never expect it,
Yeah.
But,
Wow.
you never know what's going through people's mind,
Yeah, that's true for sure. That's crazy.
But, and that's the other thing I look for too.
Yeah.
Is whenever somebody wants to train, or somebody wants to go shooting, or somebody wants to do something like that.
Yeah.
Do you have a family member? Do you have something that you're going to lose if you're, because that's the people that aren't going to typically do anything wrong. The ones that have grandkids, that have families,
they're
that have a wife,
madly in love with their
exactly.
children, their family,
But,
their wife. You know,
you have somebody
exactly.
that doesn't have anybody, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's right.
What do you have to lose? Nothing, right?
Yes, exactly. I have a really good friend who
kind of like you a little bit,
Yeah. I know, right? I have a lot to lose here.
Keep an eye on that guy, Steve.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. So, but I have a friend. I think he a very special friend. I did like counterintelligence and interrogations and stuff like that for the military. And he says that because I always had trouble as a nerd. I always had trouble gauging people. I spent so much time behind the computer, gauging people. It's almost like a very minor version of what's happening with masks now, because people can't read people's faces now. I guess younger kids they're used to seeing a face mask on. They can't understand emotions as well, basically. But I felt like I had something like that going on because I spent so much time with computers.
Yeah.
But what he told me was, he says your first instinct about people, bam, that is the right thing to think. We have this innate evolutionary thing that happens in us, that if we get a good vibe from somebody,
right,
that first huge instinct is
that guy's
extremely
trouble. Yeah.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. And when you don't listen to that instinct, I guess, is that's when you get in trouble, basically. So we just know if somebody's a good person, just like that, instantly, for no reason whatsoever, basically.
And that's one of the things I was teaching one class one time, and I was talking about, you're a female.
Yeah.
And, it's middle of the night or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're in a building.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that's behind you, and you're getting ready to walk into an elevator to go up to your apartment or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And, you don't feel comfortable going in there.
Yeah.
Into that elevator with that guy. But you still do it because we gotten to the point where you're shamed into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yes,
you have to trust your instinct.
Yes.
No matter what, you see the guy, he's walking in, he's walking behind, he's going to go to the elevator. Stop. Don't go in there.
Yes, exactly.
What are you, dumb or something?
Exactly. That's right. I almost got carjacked really bad. I almost got carjacked really bad in Stockton, like around 2000 or something. Yeah. Because like our education system says, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. But the thing is, if you want to survive and you want to live and you want to keep yourself healthy and everybody else healthy and safe, you have to follow those instincts. I knew that this guy was trouble, but I didn't listen. I said, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. And then I almost got carjacked. I had to call the police. It was just a horrible story. But that instinct, it's better to follow your survival instinct, that intuition, than put yourself in risk and in dangerous harm. I'm going to teach this to my daughter too. It's very important stuff, basically.
No, you can't. You think about it. You stop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how many animals would actually go into a cave with
negative.
A tiger?
It's not nice.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
exactly. That's right.
Picture yourself doing the same thing. There's a tiger, and you're the animal, and you're walking into a cave. It's it's a person walking into a elevator with a predator.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
If you feel uncomfortable, don't do it.
Exactly.
Stop.
I think
there's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely. Exactly. That's the stuff I'm going to teach my daughter. Again, they're pushing all this stuff stuff like like I said, don't judge a book by its cover. You know what? If you're not going to if you're the gazelle, don't walk into the cave with a lion or a hyena. Or something like that.
Better back off.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care what you think.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna live.
Exactly. That's a very important lesson to teach your kids, basically. So.
And it's the same situation anywhere. You see somebody and they ask for a ride or anything like that. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, okay. No, it's not okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you have control of the situation.
Yeah, that's right.
If you have control of the situation, it's like, come on in.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm the lion, you're the sheep.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually done that. There's a guy that had this huge cast on his leg. He's barely walking. Yeah. He just missed the bus. He's like, oh, dude, I need to make this medical appointment. I was like, sure, just hop in. I gave him right. He's fine. But in that case, he was a gazelle. I was a lion. But I'm make sure he's okay, basically. Yeah. So
you know what I do is if I ever give a ride to somebody, I said, you want to ride? Lift up your shirt. Look
really?
Yeah, you're not going to come into my car without, if you have a weapon or a knife. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
That's right. There's nothing.
You want to ride?
That's true. That's right.
This is my rules. Lift up your shirt, turn it around, and
Exactly. That's right. Yep. So we have some comments from
my vehicle, my rules. It's my garage, my rules.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah,
and there's no reason to be ashamed of it.
Absolutely, I sincerely agree with that.
You want to survive. You want to see your the next day.
Exactly.
You act smart and you do smart things. Don't be ashamed. People are shaming everybody.
I know. That's right. Absolutely.
Oh, no, you're racist. You're a bigot.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's absolutely not. I'm being smart about it.
Exactly. And you wouldn't want your kids taking those risks either, basically. So.
Exactly. So, but anyways, I think I'm running out of time.
Cool. Yeah,
we'll have to do this another day.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, we'll conclude this podcast.
We'll talk a little bit Security, or we'll talk about
for sure.
Weapons or something like that.
That'd be great. Yeah, let's talk about some Second Amendment stuff. Basically,
all right,
I think that. Yeah, for sure. We'd love to talk about that, and I think you're going to introduce me to some guests in the future too. So I'll announce them when they're ready. Basically, so we have some exciting, awesome guests coming up. So
we do.
But yes, stay tuned. We're going to basically conclude this podcast now, and I'll play with this song.
All right.
All right. Thanks a lot, Art. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay.
No problem.
Take care, man.
All right.